wise, how did you all come out of the
Okay, a couple guys with some soft tissue stuff that'll be day to day. Geno will be more week to week right now, but the other guys, I think for the most part, everybody in the game is a couple days.
So you don't expect Geno to play this week, I would imagine.
Right now, no, I would expect that.
Who's the other guy?
I don't know. You asked me. Nobody that comes to mind. I mean, I'm just trying to think through who could be missing today. A couple guys are kind of questionable as they get out there. We'll see how they do, but nothing significant.
Any long-term concern for Geno? I mean, I know
No.
week to week, but still, just kind of, Mike, you expect to get him back on Gesicki?
We'll see. We'll just get through this week and see where he's at.
How did you think Dylan and Lucas held up? I mean, it's not a lot of snaps, but how did you think they played?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of snaps, but I thought obviously that unit went down there and scored 2 touchdowns, so they gave us what we needed, and still some things that we'll look to improve as a group. But overall, that was what you hope for.
Did you see enough from the first team offense to maybe think about dialing it back at Washington, or is the plan still to go about half?
We'll see. Definitely playing. We'll see how long as we get closer. We'll see how much work we get in during these next 6 practices, and then go from there.
What impressed you about the way Chris Jenkins played?
Well, I think that's just his training camp in general. I think his game was a reflection of what we've seen from him over the course of training camp, and he just continues to rise, and he comes out there and competes, does it the way we want it done, and good things have happened for him.
What do you hope to see from the winner of that right guard battle? What do you want to see that's going to determine who gets that starting spot?
I mean, there's no real criteria that we're looking for. Just a decision we'll make at some point. That's not something we have to make today. So we've still got 6 practices left in our minds to really assess these guys.
Well, in general, just when a guy's playing really well at that spot, what are some things that you really want to see from someone who plays that job at a high level?
I mean, really good one-on-one pass protection, understanding where your help is, understanding how to help others, coming off the physicality in the run game, being detailed. Those are all the things I'd say.
Do you need to start cross-training Cody at tackle again? He did that obviously for you last year, just to get that versatility and those reps in for him, or are you going to keep his focus at guard for right now?
No, I think right now is the time to look at all that stuff. You know, so these I say 6 this week, really these next 4, we'll look at some different things with Cody and Jalen, and make some decisions as the week goes on where we want to head.
How wide open are some of those backup offensive line battles?
I say very open. You know, I think nothing's set in stone right now. There's still a lot of opportunity left. You know, there's 8 true practices in 2 games, and so we're going to utilize every one of them to gain all the information we can on our group.
You envision Seth getting in at all?
We'll see. He's still just working his way into things. Would love to get him some action to see where he's at. But again, he's more in the day-to-day mindset right now. Him and Matt Lee both.
Seen Shamar on tape, and then do you think he might play more of the ones in one?
I think, you know, we've still got, you know, a week and a half until that game, until that game. So we'll make decisions, but he's only getting better every rep that passes. So I think that opportunity is going to be there for him.
Is it important for him to, in practice, to start working in with ones? If you wanted to try to get him a little bit more reps with next to those guys, or is that not as important?
I think that'll happen over time. It's happened situationally, you know, with some of our rush packages. So, but I think this is the week where we can really start being flexible and moving guys around and taking a look at different pairings.
Do you anticipate ramping things up with Dax a little bit more to see where he's at from a conditioning standpoint?
Yeah, I think he was doing great, and so we pulled back a little bit right before the game, and now the hopes would be getting him through this week and make a decision on if we want him to play in the game or not.
Overall, what are the biggest adjustments you want to see from the secondary going forward, execution-wise?
Yeah, I mean, we were just in a lot of one-on-one positions where we were a fingertip away a lot of times, and so continue to be competitive, continue to be detailed at the line of scrimmage, but I think overall operationally there were some things on offense, defense, and special teams that we've got to be better at that had nothing to do with Philly, and that's one of our primary focuses right now as a team.
Not having to join practice this week, kind of what are your plans for these 6 days or however many it is?
Yeah, I'm thankful this year we're not doing that because we're going to get really good work in for 6 practices. We got some scrimmage situations. Today is a good, ultimately be a red zone day for us, the way it'll shake out at the end in a competitive fashion. So I think it's really good for us to continue to put some install stuff in, tweak some stuff, as opposed to locking in on X opponent, you know, that we're gonna spend 3 days preparing for and practicing for and reviewing. We just get to spend that on ourselves, and I think that's really needed right now for this group. And so I think that the way that this camp hit us this year with no practices against anybody else, just focusing on ourselves, I'm excited about it.
When you talk about operationally, is that stuff from like coaches to players, players amongst each other? What is that for
Yeah,
you?
that's aligning with the correct number of people on the line of scrimmage. That's getting set before a motion sets for an illegal motion. There's a lot of things that fit those categories that we have to be significantly better at. Lining up onside on a field goal block, not hitting the center on a field goal block. You know, all these things, again, have nothing to do with our opponent. Led to points, led to putting us in tough situations that I expect us to be much better at going forward.
Was the alignment issue in play on that 38-yard run early? I think it was the third play of the game.
No, on defense, you mean?
Yeah.
No, not so much. No, that we can be better. We can be more detailed there, but that wasn't. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
You mentioned the competitive periods of practice today. I think this is the only 2.5-hour practice of camp, while the other ones are 2. Is that why you're trying to just get more?
Well, it's because we're doing the walkthrough before. So
okay.
day after a game, normally we do the walkthrough in the morning, but we needed that time to review that tape, and so that's where that extra time comes from. The face didn't feel like a longer practice, but you point that out. Yeah, it's a longer walkthrough to start practice.
So you said there's gonna be kind of more there's gonna be some scrimmage situations today,
Mhm.
like moving the ball.
Red zone lockout. We've done that before here. You know, we have a scoring system in place, and so that's one of the competitive periods we'll do today.
So that's scoring count at all the overall team.
Sure does. Yeah,
Is it a point?
more than a point. More than a point. I won't reveal the full point system yet, but more than a point.
It's great when you can make up.
I can make whatever. It can be worth 20 points if I want, and that would lead to a runaway winner. But I'm going to keep it between 1 and 20, somewhere in there.
Do you expect Cam to be in that today?
Cam Taylor-Britt, he'll start working back. Again, he's one of the guys kind of fits into today period where let's see where he's at as we get out there. May hold back, may get him back in tomorrow. Tomorrow's more of a special teams emphasis, so it's an opportunity again to eat some guys back in individual and see where they're at before we hit that latter part of the week.
Would you like to see him play against Washington?
I mean, it'd be great, but it's not. I don't find it to be critical that he has to walk on the field against Washington.
Is there any major concern over his? It seems like it's just been load management with him. Is that?
Yeah, no, there's no major concern.
What type of training camp have Tyson and Dejan had?
I think that's a group we're looking to, you know, to make sure we're deep enough there. And so they're going to continue to get a lot of opportunities, certainly with Geno being out. And so I think it's a good chance to really see where they're at in their development. They got to contribute on special teams. They got to prove that they can walk in there and help us on defense as well. And so I think, again, those are guys that these next 6 practices will be really good for.
What's the part of Tyson's game do you think he can take that next step in terms of playing safety in that position?
I think, you know, you can't say the physicality portion of things because they don't get that opportunity all the time at practice. We don't tackle. So I think the next 2 games are really good to see those guys continue to play. Overall, the back end, you're always on the communication. You're always on the run fits. You're always on the coverage responsibilities. So those are things we just continue to see improvement from those guys.
It seemed like Joe Giles Harris had a big game.
Yeah.
He was all over the field. You obviously liked him because you brought him in as a free agent.
Yep.
What about his game complements that line?
He's a smart player. He can play multiple spots. He's a veteran player, so he knows what it takes. He's played with good physicality. He's helped us in special teams. I think that there's a really good competition in that linebacker room. I'm really pleased with the direction all those guys are headed. You mentioned Joe. I've been pleased with what Joe's done for us in camp.
How different is Chase Brown this year? I mean, he just seemed kind of. I mean, he was clearly
Yeah.
at another level the other night.
Well, I think there's probably something to knowing you're the guy, you're the starter. You're going to get the bulk of carries. Really an unknown for him going into last season because that's not how the season started for us. So I think there's an extra level of confidence. Now he's earned it, and so I think he certainly knows, hey, I've earned this, I'm capable. There's that added extra element of confidence when we're telling you you're the guy and you're going to go do it, and we believe in him and he believes in himself. just to have that explosiveness in the backfield in conjunction with all the other explosiveness we got at receiver and tight end, and that's pretty exciting to have as part of your arsenal.
When you watched the tape back from the other night, what's the biggest thing that jumped out about how Shamar played in the snaps he had?
He played hard. It's he's plays with a lot of force, a lot of power, explosion. So chasing things down on the backside, that was all over his college tape. I thought he did a nice job there. So there's some good things he put on tape, and we'll just continue to build off of it.
What have you liked about Cam Grandy that he's kind of earned opportunity for you?
I like smart football players. I like guys that can pick it up quickly. We ask a lot of our tight ends in terms of their alignments, and sometimes we try to trim the play call by making the tight end learn more because they've proven. Drew has kind of always set that standard for us, and you build it off of that, and that's a high standard. And so now Mike in year 2 has picked that up. Tanner in year 24 has picked that up. And Cam understand that very quickly when he came in, and that's why I think as an undrafted guy, he was able to eventually make the team because he's proven that as well. So, and again, it's to find point of attack guys that can hold up at the point of attack in the run game and in protection is not as easy as you would think, and Cam's been a guy that's proven he can do that as well.
Just out of curiosity, did you catch the Lions-Falcons game last night?
I did not.
Did you see what happened with the,
I saw a headline, but I don't know anything about it. Okay, thank you.